Hello and welcome to today's No FOMO Chart Stocks and Crypto TA live stream. It's Monday, September 12th, 2022, just after 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Monday night here in America. And let's go ahead and get started. Do a slightly shorter stream today with stocks and crypto, starting off with ES1 S&P 500 futures. So what I do want to point out is last week I correctly called this bottom in terms of the potential support plays for several stocks and the larger, broader stock market as a whole and crypto as well. So, capturing this little swing was very doable. You just had to watch the stream and place some orders the next very day. Literally, sometimes it's that simple. With, your take profit and your stop loss, right? So if it was 2%, somebody should have already made 4% profit and locked that in either on Friday or today. So on S&P 500, however, on the daily, we're starting to see a little bit of this hourly consolidation that's coming into play. The hourly is still in an uptrend. Let me just erase all this. The hourly is still in the uptrend of the price. However, we are starting to see a little bit of signs of loss of momentum. So in the day trading, we could see a little bit of a bounce, a pullback and a bounce. But at the same time, over the next couple of days, I wouldn't be surprised if the bears try to pull back because the 4-hour is starting to lose momentum. It went up a little bit too fast. The daily is starting to show just a little bit of consolidation. So is it over? No, it's not. We could get a deep pullback like July or a little small pullback like August. So just want to watch out for that. Because we did hit, this was the pivot target point and the 382 Fibonacci support level, which turned into the resistance level, right? Or to this one. So we hit that. If we back up with the Fibonacci, with the 618, pierce the 382, almost at the 236, but our 1 hour is kind of losing momentum. It's in an uptrend, so we could see a pullback, but the trend is still up. So just be aware of that. One thing I do want to point out on the weekly chart, however, I was saying last week, is there's potential upside down head and shoulders for investors, right? This could be bullish. If inflation starts to slow down and come down actually within the next 6 months to 1 year, this is one of the chart patterns that could really lift us off and into a bullish environment again, because the target is 14% to the upside. Okay, but the bearish target is also 40% to the downside. So, however, we have to break the neckline of 4159 and 4300 here on the blue, which is our resistance point. But you can't see it on the chart, right? If you compare like 2 years of data, we haven't seen this large weekly type of head and shoulder, upside down head and shoulders bullish structure for years on a weekly chart. So definitely we're seeing the battle between the bulls and the bears. So I'll be watching that very, very closely as an investor. Okay, let's move on to NASDAQ futures. NASDAQ futures also hitting our trend line resistance target, right? So this is what I'm saying. If we do some technical analysis using some indicators and price pattern movement, I was saying on the 1 hour, 4 hour last week, little verbatim, we have this potential double bottom here with low bullish momentum that's forming. And then that was literally right on spot on the analysis correct. 7% since that call last week. So technical analysis works, but keeping up with all the momentum and if you're an aggressive trader, okay, so we look at the hourly now. Now it's approaching this upper trend line. We did have a golden cross for a couple of days, but it's starting to lose momentum. So again, the day traders are going to try to push it up for a couple more days. They're going to attempt it at that morning, but the longer term, right, in this 4 hour, if it starts rounding over and keeling over, I mean, it could pull back deep, 12,600 or 12,300. So just watch out for that, because we went from a low, if you look at a 4 hour, we went from a low support area to a relative resistance zone on the top. That's why, watch out for that. If we cannot pierce through the resistance and keep going bullish, watch out for some pullback, because we do have the FOMC meeting on September 20th and 21st. Again, zooming out to an investor time frame, just like the S&P 500, watch out for this upside down head and shoulders. If it breaks through, we have to break through 13,600 to really continue a bullish uptrend in the long term. Okay, let's look at YM1. Dow Jones Futures. On the daily, this call is also correct. So again, there's multiple ways to view this. We do have a support zone down here in the yellow. The 30,000 is our support for the futures. And we did bounce off this low Fibonacci 618 zone to 382. Another way to look at it. Or, right, we have this, someone's trying to create the upside down head and shoulders in the market. And so we're watching for this breakout, if it's going to happen. It's either going to break out or reject, right? Low, high, low, high. If this is our lower high, we could pull back down again for a bearish scenario as well. So 1 hour, again, it's starting to up cross, very good, but watch out for the momentum loss of the pullback coming in this week. Also, the 4 hour, watch out for the momentum pullback coming this week. I mean, it could pull back all the way down to 31,700, 32,000, worst case 31,000. Watch out for that. Same analysis applies to this as well. If we zoom in just for our day traders, this is future, so we're gonna have to wait for the Asia overnight session, the European overnight trading session before we get to our USA day trading session tomorrow. It's starting to get into a symmetrical triangle pattern, right? So that's why you kind of feel it and see it in the market that it can break both ways. So watch out for the news. One thing to look out for this week is we have a considerable amount of financial data that's going to show up. Let me open up Discord just to show my watch list. That's like why I black out the screen. So on the watch list, for example, for today, we have Oracle earnings and Adobe earnings, but for the data, we have CPI, we have PPI data, we have retail sales. So this is the quote unquote the consumer's inflation, right? It's not the Federal Reserve is using the PCE, that's more the producer side. But this does move the market, right? If inflation number comes down on this a little bit, it's probably gonna be bullish, most likely, right? Retail sales. I did see an article that inflation is definitely starting to affect a lot of people in terms of cutting back their spending, according to surveys. We've known this, but for surveys now, it's really showing up on the survey data. We also have consumer sentiment and the manufacturing index. So these 5 are definitely going to have some effect on the market in the morning for day trading. Also, we are starting to see some countries loosening their COVID-19 guidelines and the travel requirements. In the news, we saw Japan and New Zealand this weekend, because we're in the Asia session right now. That's why there's Asian news that's popping up. And then we have the USA FOMC meeting on September 20th and 21st. That's just about next week. So I want to watch out for that. Inflation, interest rates, that's the story, the name of the game right now. Aside from COVID and war and supply chain issues, right? But the fact that we're seeing this large upside down head and shoulders on the daily and the weekly, it's giving me pause. Because if this is truly a bottoming out pattern, we should see on the price the breakthrough of the resistance ahead and then the measured move. So we could get a super bull rally. It's possible, right? If this is a long term, if this is our, let me draw it in blue. Long term on our weekly, if this is our lower high, then we should make a higher high in a bullish scenario. If it's going to fail and inflation continues to rise, then this is going to be our lower high, just a small one, and then we can hit lower lows. Definitely possible. So the 2 scenarios right there. All right, let's move on to oil. US oil. So oil had the pullback down below the support level, which is why I removed it from my list. I do want to point out that last week on my if you're in my Discord at the bottom right here, I wrote I just gave free potential bull chart setups. Just anybody in my Discord who's reading, there's like at least a couple people, right? So Google was at a support zone, Moderna, CarMax, gold, and Bitcoin. So let's just rewind and just see for a second what happened to that. Google hit the support zone and rallied a couple percent. Very nice. A little bit muted, but from that bottom, right? I was saying it could go 3 to 6%. Where did it go? 3, 4%, right? 12% is maximum. So still decent, right? Decent. Moderna also starting to get that pullback today, went 10% from the buy zone. CarMax also went about 6%, 6 to 8%, a little bit of sell-off today, but still close enough to the bottom side. We look at GLD, look at silver. Gold with the double bottom, it went 1.7%. And what was the last one? Bitcoin. Obviously Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin saying that this our double bottom went 18%. So, you know, it's just those simple things. You see a setup, you see, you know, put some risk on with take profit and stop loss. And then that was a profitable week. That's why for me, it was pretty easy in terms of business of trading. Now, coming into this week, right, things are a bit different. It's a different mindset. With trading, I have to be able to keep up with the changes. So the fact that the hourly is up and I'm anticipating some kind of hourly or 4-hour pullback this week, or at least going into September 20 FOMC meeting, things are changing in my perspective. Now for the oil setup, the reason I removed it is because there's this looming large head and shoulders bearish pattern, although we are starting to hold the support above $70. So to me, once we lose and close above $70, because somebody tried to attempt to sell that off, but it hasn't happened yet. This is our neckline, $70. And until that happens, you know, the super bearish head and shoulders of oil is not existing. It's not confirmed yet. That would take us down to like $53. So something has to seriously happen with the Russia-Ukraine war and European energy, oil, or the stock market as well. Just watch out for that. I'll just keep that one long term. Okay, natural gas as well. Did point out last time that it's starting to lose weekly investment momentum. So I'm not talking about day trading right now. I'm talking about more investment, right? It was starting to lose that momentum. The day traders played this little bounce, 5 minute 4. The 4-hour, 1 hour did get very low after that oil crash, and they did rally 9%, but that's after it crashed. Keynote, after it crashed, right? This is a very good example right here. Just side note, you had a rally. Let me turn this off. You had a rally, uptrend, consolidation sideways, and a downtrend. So being able to identify those 3 cycles, 3-4 cycles, will separate you from all the other people just starting out and have no idea what's going on with price or technical analysis, right? It happened in what, 2 weeks? It happened in like a month. Being able to identify that, very simple, but critical price analysis. So what's happening right now is the 50% retrace, we did lose this momentum here on this head and shoulders pattern. The measured move did happen. So that's what these 4-hour traders are looking at, 8% to the downside. We hit that target. It's bouncing out to 50%, but we're finding a level of support just above $26. So what I'm looking for is maybe this structure to occur again, a repeat in history, right? You have a rally, you could get a pullback, you double bottom off this again, it'll rally again, but that'll create the larger weekly, daily head and shoulders, which would take us down. So we could see a little bit of a pullback and then a rally again before we have a super bearish pullback, right? The momentum on the 1 hour, 4 hour definitely shows that. The 1 hour, it could pull back, could pop up a little bit, and the price go up and then come down on the 15-minute, hit this low RSI, and then rally again. So that's something I'm watching out for, right? You can kind of see it. If you just kind of visualize, there could be a head and shoulders. It rallies, and then it falls down back into $21 range. So watch out for that on natural gas. All right, look at gold. I'm trying to go faster here today. Gold, all right, so the thing I'm pointing out on gold on the daily is that right here we do have this double bottom at around 1700. I'm on gold futures right now, 1700 with the daily momentum. So the target obviously 1773 up here in the X, right? So if we do get a nice W double bottom setup, we could see continuation. So we could go 6% even from here, right? Because the stop loss obviously if it's 3%, 6% or 4% could be our top side target of 1837. So you want to watch out for that if that's actually going to happen or not. So what happens when the price is in the middle of the structure? It could go both ways. It kind of depends on this news. So the data that's going to come out every single day, almost Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at least, is definitely going to have an effect on which way the market goes. So not everything is under the control of charts. Okay, so let's look at silver, go a little faster. Silver, that's just SO1. Get the silver ETF. There we go. Some exposures. Okay, so silver did also rally, not as much as gold, but 10%. That's still pretty good for a week of swing trading. 10%. That's pretty good. So I do want to point out here, though, it's starting to get into the resistance zone on the yellow. It did have a gap up on this particular asset chart, right? The weekly, we're starting to get that momentum. So I'm not giving up on silver yet, right? The bullish momentum was building. So if it gaps up, we could see a pullback. And I'm trying to see again, are we going to get upside down head and shoulders or a little reversal? Which if that reverses back into the triangle, that's like 10 to 50% additional on the silver. So just watch out for that. But in the shorter term, again, like this hourly, it's a little too extended. Everybody was getting caught up in this rally, right? So if this doesn't break up to higher highs, this could set our lower low and we could start a new downtrend in the very, very short term. Okay, 4 hours also overextended. So just watch out for that. This is not the place, this is not the best place to go long as a day trader or swing trader, right? Because last week's stream was the exact great place. That was the exact bottom. Right here, September 6th, before the move, right? So once we started to see that momentum, it's like, all right, here we go. And then everybody caught on now. So going long after it's up 10%, this is the bearish setup actually for a day trader. All right, okay. Let's move on here. Let's do some of the big stocks, the big tech stocks, just to take a look at what's going on. So Apple, like I said last time, right? The 3 to 6%, the 6% target was hit today. So some swing traders, this is why literally technical analysis is very helpful. If I could find the setup, which I did last week, and I'm still in the market, I'm still trading on my exchanges, I'm still analyzing the market on charts. Once in a while, I just walk into a perfect setup. It was just handed to me last weekend, right? And then all I have to do is execute, where's my entry, where's my take profit as a day trader, swing trader, and then where's my stop loss, and an easy 6% trade. But now that that's over, move on from it, learn from it, log it in, move on. Start looking for the next setup. All right, so Apple with this weekly Morningstar pattern, which is very interesting, right? Holding this EMA support above 155. Although, again, like I'm saying, like a lot of stocks are 1 hour, 4 hour oscillators and our price getting a little bit overextended, hitting this 236. Apple's obviously our lead bull. We had the Apple event at iPhone 14 as well. And if we draw our trend line, you can see it could definitely pull back down to 162, 163 range. You want to watch out for that. Definitely possible. Could pop up a little more, but at some point it needs to pull back, right? Even on this, the rally of July to August, it pulled back multiple times, like 10 times. So if this is going to be the start of a new bull rally, it's going to pull back at one time where another swing trader can make their entry later. Right? This is getting into slight bearish territory for the hourly. It's got a little too overextended on the hour. All right. Let's just take a quick glance, just compare and contrast all these tech stocks. So Amazon on the 4 hour is a little bit overbought, a little too high. It's starting to uptrend, but again, we could pull back all the way down to 131 price, right where the EMAs are. Watch out for that. Microsoft, 4 hour getting starting to lose just a little bit of momentum. The hourly, we want to see it pull back a little bit more to like a 265 or 262, right? High, low, high. Where's the higher low? Where is it? Sometimes it doesn't happen, but usually in textbook trading it does. Google still in an uptrend. That's why nothing to get scared about here. The only thing, the problem is high, low, high, low. That's fine. 110. If it's 110, the next target will be 113. Simple swing trading, right? And if you're an investor, just trying to hold on. We're playing this support bottom one last time, the 105 support. So just try to hang on. All right, Tesla, the nice bounce, right? Hitting our target, profit target of last time, resistance 3 at 395, like literally on the dot. Passed through both of our targets, 286.54, right? Because the market rallied, that's why I hit this resistance on top. One thing I would caution is the Twitter deal, at least a Wall Street Journal article and some of these financial articles are saying that the Twitter deal might still be approved and go through, even though there's the whistleblower and the lawsuit. We'll see what happens with that and how that's going to affect Elon Musk. At the same time, 1 hour, 4 hours still oversold, uptrending, but oversold. So I could see a little bit of a pullback. You want to watch out for the long squeeze here. If some of these, if the orders keep getting stacked to the upside, want to watch out for it. 302 is our support level. And our resistance level 310, and what is up here? 314. Okay, let's look at NVIDIA, because in about 10 days, there's going to be the NVIDIA conference that could affect the semiconductor sector. So one thing to note is we did hit this 4 hour, 1 hour low oversold, the 4 hour oversold back here on September 6th, literally last week's stream. So another support play, bounce up. See if we could get this continuation up above the EMAs here. But there was a pattern here. So you have a triangle and you have a triangle, and then we had the breakout. So the measure move of the triangle is supposed to be 6%. Did we hit that exactly? Almost exactly 6% from the breakout, right? The retest, the liquidity retest in the post market, 7%. So that first target's hit. First target's done. That's why you're going to see a little bit of a battle tomorrow morning or in the next morning, right? If it's double the target, let's say NVIDIA has some amazing numbers or something to announce, the new 4000 series cars. I'm looking forward to that announcement to see exactly what that is going to be, right? The second target is 153 up here, 153. So our 4 hour is still kind of in the middle, but starting to lose momentum. Our daily is still MACD forming. We did gap up. There is this hidden gap resistance up here. It's going to be a little bit of a push to get through 147 if it's going to happen. But as long as it's uptrending, nothing to really worry about, right? Because you can see, again, what am I saying? This is price trend theory that anybody who's doing technical analysis needs to know. This is, are we downtrending? It was a downtrend into a sideways consolidation, and now we're starting to uptrend. See if this uptrend can continue and sustain with volume, follow through. Then that's good, right? Then that would be great. So if you're an investor, sometimes the key is just waiting. Sometimes it's just waiting. If you're a day trader, you're finding your low setup, your low price setup or anything like that, or whatever your strategy is. If you're swing trading too, you're kind of looking for some kind of relative low for a long green bull setup as well, right? So we're just right here under the resistance. It's not much of a move, but what it seems to feel like is just like July. You have a little bit of a pop up. You get the pullback down on the shorter term time frames, and then we might get the big rally, right? Because the interest rate increase, pretty much anybody in the know with stocks and investment knows about it right now. So now that that's generally priced in, we're going to get this rally, pullback, maybe double bottom, and then big rally. That's what I'm watching out for. Oh, thank you so much, TradingView, for the 200 coins. Wow, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. What an honor. So for anybody watching right now, like I always say it at the end of the stream, but anybody who's watching, whatever level, skill level the person is, beginner, intermediate, advanced, even professional, there's a lot of tools here that is critical, right? If just a quick aside note for anybody watching this in the future, all the tools they're here on the left side, right? These are free tools developed proprietary for TradingView, and it's amazing, right? And then on the top side, you get the time frames, the different ways to look at your price, indicators, template strategies, metrics template, right? Bar replay, you could save the chart on the right side. You have like your watch list, your alarms, news, data in terms of the indicators and the price, you know, the big volume and price gainers, even the calendar, right? And then you get some social, public chat, private chat, live streams. And then on the bottom here, what I always tell people is, you know, if somebody has a free account, like if someone's like just signing up for TradingView, there's the paper trading. You could connect it, you turn it on, right? You set it up with the settings, and then you could, if you're in the US, for example, you could trade US stocks in the morning, or you could trade big crypto USD stocks for practice using the order window on the right side here. This is why, for me and for anybody who's watching this, even if you have a free account, you could practice this way. That's why TradingView is the best charts platform for learning and practice, in my opinion. Literally, it's important to, because I know I'm going fast here with the indicators and everything and the analysis, but you know, if I stop and I slow down, there's a lot here on the four corners, I call it, on the TradingView window that people should probably take a look at. Very, very useful and helpful. Because if I didn't have the tools of the indicators, then trying to trade and do analysis is much, much more difficult and challenging. So using the TradingView tools and the indicators, very, very important in terms of increasing the probability chances of successful, consistent trading. So again, thank you so much, TradingView. Really appreciate it. So NVIDIA, this is what I'm watching for. This is what I'm watching for, right? So the problem with NVIDIA is it's kind of had like not so great news in terms of the PC boom sale. You know, that happened in the pandemic. It's kind of, there's less demand for PC parts. But for me, because I'm still a PC guy, I'm watching NVIDIA and AMD very closely. And I'm starting to notice, you see this large weekly MACD histogram forming on the NVIDIA chart. So NVIDIA stock might make a comeback if it can hold above the $136 level here, right? Because it's in a downtrend, that's for sure, 100%. Okay, weekly downtrend for sure. But at the same time is 133.75. If we never crash down below that, hopefully, I mean, the next target down is 116 in the gray line down here. But let's pretend this is our bottom, right? This could make a double bottom, consistent with the upside down head and shoulders play for all the Dow Jones, S&P, and NASDAQ, right? And then this thing could blow off top, rally to like $200. Definitely possible, right? There could go 40, 50%, 30% the upside. That's why just because I see like one bar of weekly right here is like, it's maybe. Because the daily just hit the oversold and the momentum starting. It's just this short-term hourly, the 15-minute day trader stuff, it might pull back. That's why. Or it could just rally nonstop. That's why. We could have just seen the September 6th might have been the bottom, relative bottom for this tradable bottom. Hello, welcome on YouTube. Welcome everyone on TradingView and Twitch as well. Oh, we're almost halfway. Okay. So just wanted to point that out for everybody. Okay, we'll switch to AMD really fast. AMD, again, what I'm watching for is on an investing side. On the investing side, is this our high or low on the investment time frame, the weekly time frame, right? If this is our high or low, this is great, fantastic. We could rally back to AMD 103. That could, what is that, like 20%, right? 20%, that's phenomenal potential trade. But that's if we hold this bottom here. We have to hold the bottom. That's a big if of the price, this yellow bar. So basically $75 to $72 range. We have to hold that very, very strong in the bulls. Because we don't want this to turn into a mega head and shoulders. That would be very bad. That's the ultimate bearish scenario if, you know, if the world problems all get worse at the same time. But the bullish scenario is we do have a slanted inverse head and shoulders potential setup here. So all that has to do is pierce through the top trend line, and then we would be good to go. Bull setup breakout if somebody didn't buy last week, right? You can see it right here. So the two targets is either basically $100 on the top side or $73 on the bottom side. Okay, we want to watch out for that. We want to watch out for that. And I'm talking about long term. So I'm not talking about like scalping right now. We're talking about investing. Still possible. Still possible. We did see a little, it didn't quite hit the support at $75, but still. This is what I'm saying. The trend, uptrend, consolidation, downtrend. I mean, if somebody could master that, you'll probably do you'll do much better as a trader analyst. Because once I started doing that is when everything changed for me. Right? I'll do another practice example. Sometimes it's not that simple. Like this one. You have a downtrend into a short consolidation, into an uptrend, into a very, very short consolidation. This is actually a head and shoulders pattern. Watch out for that. Beware. Downtrend to another consolidation, to an uptrend, to a consolidation sideways, to a downtrend, to a consolidation, to an, right? So it's just the nonstop analysis of that if you're trying to day trade, swing trade. Okay, we'll look at APE in the crypto section. Let me just finish this off with just some other stocks that were big movers. Oh yeah, I was talking about NEO in terms of the earnings. Looks like they had on these two numbers, decent revenue. It's good enough for some traders, and it popped off 25%. Very nice. But again, watch out for this. It's already in the overbought range on the top RSI side, so you want to watch out for that. Okay, so it went from the, okay, this is what I'm saying. It's even if though it's a risky play from last week, is it went from the support zone to the resistance zone. So once it's in the resistance zone up here, as a day trader, swing trader, I'm probably not going to buy that. Amazon bounced off the support zone. Ford just kind of consolidating. Flagging really up there. Just watch out for that. So for Ford, you want to watch out that it's not going to lose the floor of 1485. Because there's a head and shoulders to a double bottom. So that means the bears and the bulls are fighting it out right now. So, you know, I'm going to let that one go. Whereas if in June, July, there's a very clear pattern upside down head and shoulders, that was a bull play, right? Now it's the consolidation in terms of the hesitation on that price pattern. So I'm going to pass on that. Ready to Tesla, AMC, GameStop, it did have some action, but AMC not really leading. Although this was a very, very nice 30% play, but still hitting this right, that it just followed the market. So it followed the QQQ and GME move, bounced up to the trend line, and then now got stuck here. So that's what I'm saying. Watch out this week is that if we don't keep rallying, you could see the support levels. It wants to drop. If there's no buyers, it's going to drop to 970. Short's going to attack that. Watch out. I'll do CCL. Actually, I'll do Jet ETF because Jet's ETF because you know, summer travel, etc. And we'll move on to crypto. So with the Jets ETF, is the story here is using the price trend. We had a massive downtrend in the COVID start. Then we had an uptrend on travel renewal, vaccine hope. And then we had a downtrend in the, wait a second, actually COVID's not ending faster than we thought, right? And then a downtrend, less travel. And then all the bad scandals with people, you know, happening on airplanes the past 2 years. That's all getting priced in here. So back in June 30, 15, We hit the bottom here, and then it did establish the support level. This looks like the 618 of this move. Yeah, 618 bounce. That was the name of the game. Fibonacci 618 to 382 that for 1 week. Just everything did that. Literally everything did that. But that aside, it's still kind of in the middle of this channel, right? It has tapped the bottom and the top of the channel. So what I'm saying is longer term, if this could sustain, because we're starting to see more and more countries loosening their COVID-19 guidelines and travel requirements. So if that's true, we could see this actually rally back into $20. That would be approximately 10%. Beautiful trade, right? Just watch out we don't lose the support of $17. And then if it falls down to 15, this would be another great support spot. So either our target for resistance or our support. All right, so that's kind of the stock overview. Again, we have Oracle and Adobe earnings, but I'm not really gonna do too much analysis on that. Just know that Oracle, let's see, last time our earnings, they had pretty good earnings. And it gapped up about 12%, so probably like 10 to 12% volatility here. So all I'm gonna write on Oracle is watch out for this trend line that it's right under. And the plus or minus 10% target is 85 resistance, and then $69 support. So watch out for that. It is still trying to uptrend though, it's attempting. So we'll see what happens with the earnings. Last one really quick, Adobe. Has some utility for creative designers, artists, students. Adobe earnings in 3 days with the photo and video editing. But did find a support level. It's almost like Google a little bit, 366 to the 348. It's a large range, but 371 as well. Okay, so if I kind of try to box it in like I like to, just general, this is not a perfect, example, but just kind of get some zones in. It's like, all right, that's the zone. Then halfway of the zone is 416. All right, that's kind of our halfway point. So earnings, last time Adobe earnings, let's see, was good. The market turned around. So it's like so basically a 10% for both of these stocks before the real direction shows up. Negative 10% would be interesting because that would be a low, all-time low of this year. It'd be an interesting spot to try and pick up some Adobe. But if you like Adobe, but 20% to 70% volatility here incoming, and just wait for after the earnings. Okay, let's move on to crypto. One moment, please. Okay, we're back here looking at total crypto market cap, and it did hit our resistance target that I was talking about last time. I hear the 1.02, 1.03 trillion, because it was a former resistance level from last time. So it's still stuck in this yellow symmetrical triangle, the larger symmetrical triangle here, right? This is our support level on the bottom, and then there's just this large one here. So that's why when it's kind of stuck in the middle of the move, I'm not so interested as an investor or a swing trader, because it's in the middle, meaning a move already happened. So in terms of massive volatility, it could go 30%, could go 15%. But this to me looks like what I was saying earlier, that kind of hourly consolidation that we're seeing. So let's start with the investment mentality. Is did we crash down to oblivion? No. It's trying to hold this higher low on the weekly, just like stocks. So now we're seeing this correlation, right? We're in the downtrend, boom. We had the pullback, but wait a second. We're finding support above 888 billion market cap support level. So if we can hold that, and if we don't go down again, this could be the start of a new uptrend rally, right? Maybe up to 1.4, the next resistance level up. But it's consolidation right now on the shorter term time frame. So it's possible to bounce a little bit and then fall back down. It could get stuck in the triangle here. So I'm talking about the bull setup, and if it's bear setup, it'll go back down to like the 750 range. So these are the three ranges I'm kind of looking at longer term for the entire market cap. Now, if we zoom in a little bit, this is what I'm saying. Our 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, it did get overbought range, but since crypto's 24 hours, the Asia session's already starting to sell off in terms of some cryptos. Okay, so the 1 hour is still in the uptrend. I'll watch out for this secret trend line. We just lost it. So yeah, that's a little bit suspicious, but again, I think some Asian countries or something like had some kind of holiday. And then Europe, I mean, you know, there's the mourning period for UK. So, you know, not everybody's mind, I think, is focused on trading right now. We might see something happen in the next 1 or 2 weeks, though. So just watch out for that. For me, is it extremely oversold at some kind of support level or anything? No, not really. So that's why, unless you're a scalper, when the 1 hour, 4 hours is kind of floating in the middle, it's still uptrending. So okay, let's just see how far it's going to go down on the support levels here, right? Because it could retest 1 trillion or 987 billion. Okay, let's go to Bitcoin finally. Let's use Coinbase here. Bitcoin, we'll start off, I'm going to start off with the weekly. So interesting that last time I was saying we have this, to watch out for the potential double bottom on the price if we could hold above 18,000. Did we hold? The answer is yes. And we are starting to get this bullish momentum on this RSI reading oscillator for the weekly. That's what I'm saying. Is this our bottom for now, for this year? Is this going to be the bottom? Was the bottom $18,000 Bitcoin? Because if it is, that would be very good. That's something we haven't seen for a long time. Relative bottom since the pandemic. A tradable bottom. It's our 786 level. So if we hold our 786 Fibonacci level, this could turn into a W double bottom bounce, measure and move, 35% on the breakout. We could go longer term to 30,000, 33,000. That's the target. 33,000 and then 30,000 is a target because we had a double bottom. As long as we don't go below 18,000, nothing to worry about. I would start getting concerned if you start downtrending hard like that. We lose 18,000, you go straight to 12 or something like that, 12,000. That's bad. Low, high, it's not happening. Oh, trend change possible in the making long term. Our daily, however, did get the bounce, right? We hit that low literally 1 day after my stream, and then somebody started buying 20%. Phenomenal. Congratulations on the gains, anybody who got that for crypto. But again, just like stocks, watch out for the pullback down to 21.2K. I'll watch out for that. The 1 hour, that's our EMA support level, and it's not oversold yet. Crypto likes to do that. It's either going to trend up and never come down, or it's going to just play regular technicals and oversold itself, sell off. So we're going to watch out for that. Because even in this left side rally, right, you could see the up, down pattern. That might happen again. Sometimes crypto just blasts off straight up to the moon. Sometimes, but you need a lot of buyers to do that. Or a lot of bots to buy. Right? So that's kind of that analysis. Let me get the numbers out and then we'll move on. So resistance is 24,000, 25,000. It would be interesting to hit the 618 right here on the 200 EMA on the daily, 29,000 as well. Then 30,000 is our resistance level to the top. So again, long story short, as long as Bitcoin never goes and retests below 20,000 or 18,000 down here, we might be seeing a potential new small uptrend forming if the stock market keeps going up. One thing that can antagonize that and be the opposite of it is if we have a lot more fear selling in next about a week and a half from now, September 20th, 21st, if the FOMC interest rate raise is going to shock the world and market or not. That's the question right now. Okay, because it trickles over to Forex and crypto as well, and stocks. All right, so somebody had a request for APE. Let's look at APE. I'm going to use Binance. So in the context of total market cap, crypto, and then Bitcoin, right? We did the analysis for both of those. Now we look at APE. So APE had a massive ICO, at least on Binance. Okay. And what's happening right now is starting to consolidate. Is if you kind of ignore this one large left side, right? Look at the close only, you can see the consolidation just starting to have a little baby breakout, maybe. That's why. At least on this chart, on the daily, we went from a downtrend to a small consolidation period to an uptrend to a downtrend. And if it keeps going up, down, that means it's equalizing, symmetrical triangle. So in terms of the breakout measure move, if we use like a half conservative, it's like a 50 to 60%. So if it breaks out from here, okay, 50%, ApeCoin would be like $868, which happens to be the resistance left side zone. Or if you want easy, I'll just pull up this Fibonacci for you, and that's also almost the 618 zone. So what we want to see for ApeCoin, like if somebody's a bull, high, low, high. This one was a small downtrend, but if we zoom out to a weekly, right, high. If this is our higher low, just like Bitcoin, ApeCoin needs to not go below 450, hold above that, a retest 718. If we break through that, you can see some FOMO bulls coming back, probably going up to 10. How long could that take? It took 2 months to crash, and then it took another 2 months to rally. So it's probably going to take like a couple months, like another quarter, to see if ApeCoin is going to rally again to at least a double top of 714 or something, that range, or for another month if we're going to fall back down to 462 or 372. Okay, so I'm taking the long-term approach in terms of Ape. It's not super oversold or anything that I'm seeing on this particular chart. It's still kind of attempting this breakout. That's what I'm getting concerned for. It's starting to try to do a 4-hour uptrend on these EMAs, right? In terms of the high, low, high, low, high, low. Okay, try to get a higher high. Great. Immediate resistance 581, support immediate 518. Great. 1 hour still uptrending. That's what I'm saying. Watch Bitcoin very closely to see if we're going to get the correlation up or not. Is it oversold like it was on September 7th, just last Monday? No, not yet, unfortunately, right? So that's why if somebody's trying to long this, just watch it very carefully to make sure you don't get some crazy FOMO breakout in either direction or breakdown. And just kind of see, is this our support level or not? Because if it's going to keep going down more and retest like a $5 even, maybe I'll buy some at $5. If it goes to 450, okay, maybe I'll buy some more, right? But the fact is it's uptrending right now. So is the support going to hold, yes or no, right here? That's what I'm watching very, very closely. So if somebody's trying to really, really watch this, just send an alert, right? Alt A, if you have an account here on TradingView, just put something here, example, 530, Ape, EMA support level 1, and then save that. It's just a price cross, right? And then the second EMA support is like 497. So then if you type it in, 497, 8, support level 2, right? And then now you're kind of a little bit protected on the downside, at least for alerts, is if it like happens overnight or something like that, is you'll know, right? The measure move of this little triangle is 20%, so it should attempt to go, if it's going to be good setup, this thing should try to go for like a 650 or something like that. Just a matter of, are buyers really going to buy this thing, right? And if you're wondering like, should I buy now or wait? It's like, well, it depends on somebody's risk tolerance in terms of position sizing and stop loss. This is educational, by the way, right? You can bring up the ATR to see how much does this thing move. About 12 cents on the average. So it's like a 2%. So you probably need like a 4% stop loss on this if you want to be safe, and try to hit 8% on a small amount of capital, medium size amount, right? But again, buying in the middle of a move is always dangerous. In the middle, yes, there's momentum building, right? But you know, you could get a 20% pop. That's why if it happens, great. But if it doesn't, just understand that it could go like -4, -8% on the downside on you. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm not going into day trading scalping because that's, you know, too short time frame. But as long as ApeCoin can hold on, you can see it. It right at the point it is right now. It just attempted a breakout, but sometimes it likes to pull back deep, try to test like a 460 or 450, right? But what I'm really concerned about is this support level here, right here. Is that real or not in terms of like a large bounce? Although right here, September 6th was a fantastic spot to buy. I'm just saying educational wise, because that was such a low oscillator reading. Now it's kind of the opposite, right? You're starting to lose momentum on the 4-hour, got overbought, and the day traders are going to try to bounce it one more time probably. We'll see if it happens. So hopefully the trade goes your way. Oh, thank you, TradingView, for following me. I really appreciate it. What an honor. Super. It's a great day today. Thank you so much, TradingView, for the follow and for the coins and for the support. I really appreciate it. I have been streaming, I think, on TradingView for 1 year now. So thank you so much for that. TradingView charts, literally. It's my favorite charting platform. I use it all the time. So let's keep going here on Bitcoin, on cryptos. So Ethereum, what I noticed before I started streaming is it's starting to lose a little bit of this momentum. I know there's like the merger. Thank you also on YouTube. There's the merger. Something about the mergers going on, right? So, but at the same time, let's just back up here. Don't get too excited. So on Ethereum as well, if we're going from pandemic low close to pandemic high close, we just bounced from the 786 to the 618 Fibonacci. That was like past 6 months, right? Now it's still in a downtrend, low, high, low. These are lower high. Okay. But sometimes though, right, if we study like the past of Ethereum, is where we are right now, this is starting to look a little bit like the late 2018 crash of cryptocurrency. So what very specifically on crypto, and this can apply to many cryptos, is are we at some kind of relative bottom? It kind of looks like it. That's why I'm getting a little bit suspicious about cryptocurrency right now, or even stocks. Although the big red flag is inflation, okay, that's why I'm not calling it the bottom. I'm saying maybe. That looks very similar pattern. So in terms of, is it the bottom? We did pull back, 78%. Last time we had a deeper pullback of negative 90%. So maybe it's not the bottom, but it's looking quite similar. How will we know? Well, it needs to keep just breaking to higher highs, Ethereum, like meaning just keep breaking up. And then you have a lot of FOMO buyers at the way end here. But anybody who caught this right here in June and is holding till now, or even the late August, maybe. As an investor, maybe that was the bottom for trading. Certainly the MACD on this right here, June 13, was a phenomenal spot to buy. If we draw a trend line though, still a symmetrical triangle. I used the conservative measurement, 25%. 25% to the upside here, to 2100. 45% to the downside is 1300. Watch out for those numbers, right? We haven't had the breakout yet. That's why if there's a breakout, it'll happen. But I would like to buy a little bit lower, about 1550, and then stop loss like 10%. So that's like a large swing trade example. But sometimes it works, right? If you play the support level, like if somebody did on August 29 or August 31st, is somebody hit their 20% swing trade target and they're out now. So just watch out for that. I think for sake of time, I'm just going to use a 4-hour chart. Okay. 4-hour did golden cross, but it might even pierce down to the 1634 level. So Ethereum's very similar. A lot of these cryptos, maybe if we can all hold this higher low of September 6th, that would be phenomenal. That would be great. The only issue is we did rally up, and then there's a little bit of this head and shoulders action. So, okay, maybe we're going to get a bearish pullback in this week. But -4 to -8%. So if I was very conservative swing trader, maybe I'll pick some up at 1641 or 1573, 1574 level down here, because that's our support trend line, right? When something's in the middle, I'm not really inclined to buy that as much, unless something happens news-wise. Binance Coin, we did hit our 50% support level that we were talking about last week, and then did bounce a little bit more than I thought. It broke out of the 382, went past the triangle, and went to 236 all the way, right? Very wonderful. So that was 14% of volatility. Great. Now, Binance Coin, the chart is a little bit uglier, but what I do want to point out is Binance Coin, the daily, is this our upside down bullish head and shoulders that we've all been waiting for like a year? Because if it is, this thing could break out 80% to the upside or more, right? We just need to break out above 338. That needs to happen. It's going to take some time. It's going to take months. It could take 3 to 6 months, right? But 3 to 6 months investment to make 100% or 80% that's phenomenal. That's why this, it's all making sense, right? This right side needs to hold the support level, and most definitely this bottom, the low of 2022, needs to hold. And then if we break through, phenomenal. It's going to be a beautiful trade, right? We went from a low downtrend to a potential consolidation, and now the question is the uptrend here? Are we looking at it? Is it about to happen? That's what technical analysis is useful for. I'm not going to say it happens until we have the breakout above 340 for an investor. Our short term looking like it wants to pull back in terms of just looking at oscillators. 5, 15, 1. You want to see how low can we go? I do want to caution people on the 4-hour. It's not a clean, pure uptrend like it was June, July, August, right? This late August, early September pullback, we want to see it develop into a real trend. Just 1 week of green is not enough. You need to see this. And then anybody can start playing the low. So we actually escaped out of the channel. So actually Binance Coin has some proving to do with proving that we're not going to fall back down into the channel of 258 and try to keep rallying up to the upside. So let me leave this here for next time and see if we broke out of that wedge or not. Okay, if we can hit this topside old trend line target from 3 months ago. Right, see if we can get back in there. So the uptrend is not there yet. Move a little faster here. 4-hour Solana, again, this is saying on September 6th, it was hitting that low and saying we could get that breakout, and Solana, what happened? Went 25%. That's crypto for you. That's crypto. Solana, not the most trusted coin anymore, but when it goes sideways, that's what I'm saying, the price trend. It goes down to sideways to maybe an up, and maybe the up is the profit potential. So I literally drew this last time saying I'm not going to, people are not really going to get hyped about this. There's 2 spots to buy here. I'm pretty sure I said this last time. If not, I'll say it again, is you could try to buy the breakout, which is dangerous, or why not just buy the support level? That's safer. Right? Because the risk to reward was what? 10% minimum to the upside, 5% to the downside, and it never went down 5%. So that's a perfect trade. In terms of crypto, was the RSI low? Not on this particular time frame. On the hourly it was, 15-minute hourly, but just playing that support level, we have multiple bottom here. It's so many times. Then you had another consolidation. Now the big question is Solana gonna flip course? Same thing as everything else. is Solana going to flip course and start uptrending here? Because on the weekly, that huge MACD that I've always been looking at for a year, this whole year, is still there. So Solana hitting its 0.88 retrace. Solana was 88% off, even though some people might say it's untrustworthy now. Right, 88% off Solana, the double bottom investment play off of $25.50 support. This thing might, the next target up could be like $75 from here if it's nonstop uptrend, right? Because if it's a true double bottom, the measure move is 67% from the breakout, which is basically $75 target. So I'm watching this very closely, just like all other coins. The MACD histogram, it takes like, how long did this crash take? This crash took, what was it, like 7 months? So 6 months from now, Solana might be 100% profit higher, potentially. Or the opposite is true. It could be negative 50% down if something really bad happens. But this is why sometimes I'm looking at it as an investor. Sometimes I don't really pay too much attention to the day trading, because focus on the big picture here is that was a definitely tradable setup. So now we're seeing if this large channel, symmetrical channel, is going to play out or not, right? Because next target is like $42 to $50 or $250, and if it comes down like $31, $31 could be the support level entry for somebody for next time. They wait for it. 4 hours kind of high. We're starting to uptrend though on the 1 hour. That's good. That's good, right? So support play. All right, I'll just kind of rapid fire the rest of these. Cardano didn't quite get hit to the bottom, but Cardano on a daily still stuck between this large symmetrical, the large channel range. But Cardano from the top of the pandemic's down negative 86%. So an investor might want to maybe think about picking some of that up. It may not be the bottom, but at least we're going sideways, which is good. Right? Not the perfect price, but it's close enough in between the gold bars, if you know what I mean. Right? This whole thing is 25%, so this is like for a hodler setup, or like a investor where you can deal with some volatility. If not, I would try to wait for another pullback. Might happen again. XRP price, again, trying to hold this higher low above 32 cents on the daily here. Although this is turning into a nice little triangle for XRP. Right here, the nice little sim triangle. So if this thing breaks out, it could be plus or minus 30%. So 45 cents or 25 cents. I'm trying to time that. You might want to wait for any support level that makes sense to you before trying to enter that trade. But again, the weeklies, starting to get suspicious here. The 0.88 retrace, the all-time high of 1.5 years ago, is down negative 80%. It's not negative 90, but it's close. And the momentum, I mean, this RSI is starting to get a little bit of bullish momentum. It could take 6 months to a year, but, you know, that's where the big money is. AVAX trying to hold the higher low above 1750 off this RSI low with the MACD momentum building. Fell out of the channel, but hit the 0.88 double bottom. Beautiful 20% play. And now the hourly is up crossed as well. See if we could get that uptrend continuing or not. Right, we went down to sideways. See how far it's going to go up. So I wouldn't run away from this trade just yet. Sorry, there's no sound. Thank you for telling me that. So I'm not sure where the sound cut off from, but did you hear from SHIB, right, or Doge? Basically, all I was saying for all of these is that as long as the support price, low price holds here, then we're basically fine. It needs to start uptrending. That's all I was saying, probably for like all these 10 cryptos in a row. 5 minutes ago, yeah, that was probably a couple cryptos ago. But all I was saying is we want to buy low, buy low and sell high and try to buy support levels, right? Because if somebody's chasing, yeah. So if the sound cut off on SHIB, that's basically all I was saying, is saying from last week support level needs to hold. Okay, so we'll just move on. Right, support level, let's say, all right, somebody wants to start over, so all right, fair enough. SHIB is kind of in the middle here, so that's what I'm saying. Watch out for the support level, just kind of support and resistance. The support level is 978. If it gets down there, it might not get down there, so just watch for that. I would say for SHIB is because it's in the middle of here and the RSI is also in the middle, it's kind of a neutral zone, right? It could break out, it could break down. So somebody could buy some, but then if they're wrong, then it crashes down negative 25% over time on you. Then, you lost for no reason. But at least it's not a huge loss, right? The opposite is also true. If somebody wants to try to play this, it's not the safest. I wouldn't buy this, but if somebody's like try to do it, there's 20% potential, but there's also negative 20% potential loss, negative 10 to 20%. That's why I always try to buy low as possible. All right, MATIC, same deal. Is it pull back. We did hold the support here on the September 7th low, but right now it's towards the top side of this resistance channel, right? So as a bull, I don't want that setup, right? The risk is higher. It's 25% higher, 20% higher. Like if I just bought today and be like, oh, I'm going to hold this thing with the small stop losses. No, this thing could actually pull back quite significantly on somebody. Right, it has happened before. If we double top here, the short's going to attack. If the stock market crashes, this thing's probably going to pull back. Same thing with Bitcoin, right? It can pull back negative 20% on you. So I'm not interested in this. I'm interested on the next higher low, probably here, 85 cents range zone. Adam, same deal, right? Last week's stream was the perfect spot to buy a lot of cryptos. That's why I pointed out Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is going to go up, most likely something's probably going to follow as well, right? We had the breakout triangle that's done now. Now it's more of a we hit this bull target up here. Now it's consolidating. So on the EMAs, what I want to see is I want to see these EMAs hold 1450, 3050, 1245, right? High low. Where's it going to pull back to? And then we might blast off one more time if the bulls show up. Near, same thing. We had actually an upside down head and shoulders on near, which is measurable, bullish move, 16%. Did we hit the 16%? We went 20%. Yes, that's why I'm saying I'm circling this X from last time is saying if we rally high, low, high, where's the next high low going to be? Maybe 450, this line right here, and see if we can maintain the uptrend. So uptrend follow through is the name of the game for crypto, right? If somebody missed the September 7th or August lows, we want to try to look for the next entry for support. Is this support up here, 65 right here? No, that's resistance. I would not buy right there. Somebody got hurt by buying there randomly, and then they're down negative 5% or negative 4% on their position. Not my strategy. It's not profitable to keep making mistakes like that 25 times in a row, right? Because somebody will be down negative 50% or negative 100% on their account if they do that. I'm trying to buy support level. So where's the next support level? $58 or 53. Very simple. High, low, high. If you get it, if you catch it here and it bounces again, you're going to make like 6% or whatever this is. 10%, right? This is doable here. Educational, right? The 2-to-1 play. 5% stop loss, 10%, try to risk that. If it fails, then you try to fire again and buy again down here. If it fails, then you wait for the bottom, right? Or if you're very conservative, wait for the lowest low possible that's visually possible. So right here, there's starting to be a trend line. So somewhere in the 55 to like a 56 area. All right, so I'm gonna move a little faster now. So uni, we did have the double bottom support level area, right? And we hit this resistance to $7 up here. So it is kind of consolidating. I would say uni's probably not going to explode to the upside until you break out above 710, right? Because we did double bottom. This is a perfect buy green zone, right? September 7th, that's what I was saying. Watch out for things to rally. And then nobody was in the chat, right? So, and then once things go, that's how you know there's a rally has been happening when everybody shows up again, right? So 5% to the downside was the stop loss, same as 20% risk, and 20% profit to the upside. They already hit that. So where's it going to pull back to? Maybe the middle of this range, right? 10%, 632. That could be a support level, or 569 support level. It's going to go crazy. If this is going to be the start of our Bitcoin Super Bowl breakout, then all cryptos need to break out above the resistance. And if it ever comes down, then we know to long that breakout setup. Okay, Link. I'm looking at 4-hour chart, by the way. So Link with the deep consolidation. I mean, Link, let's just be honest here. Potential upside down, head and shoulders. This could be a massive rally on Link if it happens. 25 to 50%. 50% would take us to 1176, which happens to be our Fibonacci as well. So this is why understanding price works. So Link, very suspicious. I'm going to call it right now on stream, make it 100% clear, is if Bitcoin rallies, if the crypto market rallies, this could be the bottom tradable for Link for 2022, right? Because it went down and now it's going sideways for many months. 5 months of sideways, and you have a bullish pattern that's setting up right now, right? So if we hold above 578 and $6, 650 and $6 and 578, this thing could explode to the upside. Explode meaning a 66 to 133% profit over time, like a year or something like that for an investor. Very interesting. Tron just hitting on the daily, hitting our daily support level. So, okay, it's getting to that zone. Sometimes they'll like to pierce down under, so there might be a secondary entry on 52 cents, but 60 cents seems to be holding. See if that holds or not. The top side target would be 75 to 80 cents on the top. Great. Okay, Bitcoin Cash again. Are we starting to see the higher low on all these cryptos? Because if we are, I'll just buy some, right? With a small amount of position size just to start a position going. Why? Because we went from an uptrend to a downtrend, and now when you get this higher low in the market, it could be the start of a new uptrend. Maybe, right? That's why I'm very suspicious right now that something might happen with Bitcoin in the next 6 months to 1 year. The only thing that's holding me back from calling it is inflation, right? Because nobody knows how fast or exactly when inflation is going to start coming down. And then the FOMC government institution would start reducing interest rate in the future. And then when prices start coming down, people can start spending more, and they're going to start investing more money. If it's going to be textbook example in general, right? So also we had war and COVID. So if COVID gets better, if the war starts, getting resolved, or if this thing starts just massive bull rally again, people are going to come back to the market. So I'm calling it right now. This could be a potential tradable bottom on many cryptos, because we already win 90% off on them, right? So if we maintain the higher low right here, 109, right, we could get this rally. All right, crude oil. So we have a request here from TradingView. Thank you for joining. Crude oil, you want me to look at crude oil? Okay. Let's look at crude oil futures. It's because we get some 24-hour data. So I'm looking at crude oil right now, CL1. Now, the long-term view with crude oil, we want to watch out for is it has been rallying for a very, very long time. The Russia-Ukraine war, European and USA Western energy crisis, basically, is it has been rallying for 2 years in a long term. But in terms of the short term, for the past couple months, it's actually been downtrending and pulling back, right? So now most people, where they think in their mind is probably, is this a pullback or is this a downtrend? Right? Because we were in an up channel for 2 years, but now we lost this support level. So that's why I'm saying caution on USO. I already did Solana, so I'll probably skip that one. But USO, just watch out for that. USO ETF or CL1 futures, right? Because we're looking at the start of a short-term downtrend, right? 91, 80, and $69 is your support level. What I do want to point out on the USO ETF on investment is that there's a giant head and shoulders looming. So if 70 support, I switch the chart now, USO ETF $70 fails, then you could crash down to $50 because it's a negative 25% bearish setup. But this is not all about charts. It's about supply chain in Europe and Russia and America and Asia and stuff. So it goes beyond just the chart. I'm just saying there's a potential formation here. But the bulls are trying to defend above $70 on the USO ETF. So if you're like a swing trader, right? If the 1 hour, the 4 hour, it did get kind of low here last week. It was last week's setup though, right? So last week's setup, I talked about this. It went 9% to the upside. It was in my, it was on the stream last week, saying the short term might go up, but the long term might go down over time. So you just want to watch out for that. Now what's happening is, okay, if we defend this $67 to $70 range on USO ETF, is now it's stuck between the yellow bar and the bottom bar right here. Right? So it did have a nice support bounce play. Is there still room? There is. There's about 10% volatility within this range here in the bracket. Range here in the brackets. So all I would really caution is watch out for the $68, $70 range right here. Because if we lose that, if we lose this range here in the X, that's very, very bad for US oil. Because if the stock market goes up, there's an inverse correlation right now. If stock market goes up, then US oil might go down. So watch out for that. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, Solana, I did do this crypto in the beginning, but I'll do it to because we have a request here. So last week stream, September 7th, 6th, correctly called this as the relative support level for Solana, and we did rally 20%. But again, caution is warranted because we're in the middle of this symmetrical triangle setup for swing trading medium term. That's why when it's in the middle, it could go either way. Right? And the 4 hour is a little bit oversold. The 1 hour is uptrending as well. So yes, you can get some additional continuation, but I'd like to see some high, low action. Where's the next higher low going to be? Maybe $36. So it can pull back on you. If it's going to rally, okay, no problem. Right? If this is our support already, 37, fantastic. Try to hit the $40 range. Right? So that's the resistance target and the support target to the downside. If you're an investor, you're trying to be a holder, well, what I was saying for Solana, like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, was that we did have this bounce off the 0.88 retrace, right? We did have this downtrend going on here. But if we have this higher low that holds, then we could start to go, like basically if we never go below $26 ever again this year, you might see a rally start in Solana. So I would watch out for that. All right, everybody. Kind of went over time here. So thanks so much, everybody, for watching and following. I really appreciate it. Again, thank you so much to TradingView for the 200 coins cheer donation and for the follow as well. Thank you, everyone, for following on TradingView at YouTube and chatting as well for the requests. I think next time I stream usually Sunday evenings, PM USA time here. So if you have a request, go ahead. If you're following my YouTube, you could just leave me a comment. Hopefully I'll see it. If you have a stock chart or crypto chart request for next time, if you're in my Discord group, which it's free, you could also leave a request there. Just in the general, just type it. And then when I start my streams, I don't mind if somebody types a request, we'll get to it eventually, right? So we could do that format as well. But although I do like to look at the majors during my stream because that's how you stay calibrated and focused in the market. So thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to sign off now. I'm live streaming on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and we have a free Discord group. If you want to give me a follow on any of those, if you liked or learned something from the stream, really appreciate it. And I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you next weekend. Thank you, and bye-bye.